Good morning, students. So, today we are continuing blood relations. Now, today we discuss some of the details. I think some of you are missing about blood relation concept. Somebody having some doubts regarding some kind of relations, and we continue with that. First, we understand those kind of confusion. First of all, we let us so we address those confusions. Probably yesterday you understood the very concept of blood relation, but still you may be having some confusions. So today what we do, so first of all let me clarify whatever the doubts you may be having, and after that we continue. Okay. So students, what I told you is, as far as blood relations is concerned, the best strategy in blood relation is having some what you call a flow chart, a family chart. If we could have a family chart in the right direction, probably it is very easy to handle. But only thing is, while drawing a family tree, I suggest you to make sure that whatever the information that is given should be put in the right direction. For example, just let me tell you that if I give you that A is father of B, come on student, if I give you A is father of B, A should be taken here and B should be taken here, because A is given father, therefore A should be male. Okay students, A should be male. We do not know the gender of B, maybe B is son or he may be, B may be daughter. Unless we are clear the gender of B, we should not take any chance. Better you keep the information as it is, just keep. Unless we get this further information, let us not take any chance. So, for your information students, if I give you some more information, something like this. For example, B is brother of C. B is brother of C. Let me suppose that this is further information. So, if I give you B is brother of C, one thing is very clear that B and C must belong to the same generation, and B is brother. Because B is brother, we can take gender of B as plus. Hope you understand this, gender of B as plus. So, now as far as this particular information is given, A is father of B, B is brother of C. So, to this extent A, B and C we are absolutely clear, and it is equally clear that A is male, B is male. Of course, right at the moment we do not know anything about C. You understand, my dear students? We do not know anything about C, right? If my question to you, basing on this information, if my question to you, what is A to C? If my question to you, what is A to C? Come on student, if I say that what is A to C, then can you answer this question? Can we? So, do you think that C's gender is not known, therefore we cannot answer? No. Still we can answer this particular question. You know how? Because A is male, A is father of both B and C. What do you think? So, A is father only, even though we do not know the gender of C, but we can definitely conclude that A is father. What do you think? I hope you understand this. To confirm A is father, we do not require to know the gender of C. Irrespective of the gender of C, we can conclude A is father. What do you say, my dear students? Are you comfortable? Probably, if my question to you, what is C to A? If my question to you, what is C to A? Yes. What is C? Maybe father, maybe son, or maybe daughter. Probably to confirm this particular answer, we need to know the gender of C. Because the gender of C is not given, your answer is can't say. Data inadequate. What do you think? If my question to you, why you are saying can't say? Yeah, you can simply say that because the gender of C is not given and hence your answer is can't say. I hope you understand, my dear students. So, in blood relations, to confirm the gender of any, to confirm the relation of any one individual, we need to know the gender. Unless we know the gender, obviously we cannot confirm. I hope that this is very clear to you, my dear students. I think I am able to make it clear to you. Probably there is no confusion, I can go ahead. Somebody says son, no, my dear students. You can't say whether son or daughter, because unless you know the gender. If you don't know the gender, how can you confirm? Therefore, you better keep it like. I hope you understand, my dear students. Shall we go ahead? Right. Now, for your information, in this particular question, if I give you further information, something like this, just look at that. In this particular information, if I give you further information, right. Okay, students. Now, we understand how to take the relations of individual, but what is all important in blood relation is, we must not confirm the gender of any one individual unless we are given. Unless we are given, we cannot confirm the gender of any one individual. Okay? This is very important, right? Students, yesterday somebody asked me to distinguish the relation of half brother. Some people still don't understand what is the meaning of half brother and as well as step brother. So, let me tell you the difference between half brother and step brother. Let me tell you the difference between these two before we move on to the next question. Ready? Come on, student. Let me suppose that A and B got married. A and B got married and they have a son C. They have son C. Okay, students? That was the question many of the people put at the end of the class. Many of the people asked me to clarify the difference between step brother and half brother. Yeah, it is the question. And after some time, if A and B got separated and A again happens to marry another woman E, and for example, if these two couple have a son C, son D, my dear students, C and D are said to be half brothers. C and D are said to be half brothers. You know how they are half brothers? Because for C and D, one parent is common. Who is that? A. C calls A father, D calls A father. Their mothers are different, but their fathers are same. You can take the best example from your life, from your favorite heroes or favorite sports personalities, whoever they are, you can take the best example for that. So, if there is one father common, we call them as half brother. So, do you think is there any quarter brother? No, there is no quarter brother. It is only half brother, nothing more than that. Okay, right, students? So, we understand what is half brother, right? Now, let me come to step brother. So, let me come to the point step brother. When the concept of step brother arises, for example, let me suppose that A and B are a couple, they have a son X. Okay, students? Let me suppose D and E are another couple, they have another son Y. X is son of one couple and Y is son of another couple. Okay? Right. For some reasons, if these two couple got separated and if these two people got married again, the earlier couple got separated, after some time these two people got married. Obviously, when these two people got married, they happened to be living in one room, one house, that is for sure, and these two people should be known as step brothers. The reason they are step brothers because none of their parents are common. X parents are totally common, Y parents are totally common, biological parents. But maybe they are living in same house. This is called stepbrothers. Stepbrothers are those where no single parent is common. You understand, students? So, this is the difference between stepbrother and half brother. I believe that we can go ahead. You can take the best example from your right, students. So, you can take the best example from your different experiences and you can justify yourself. Okay. Now, we go ahead. So, with this we understand the difference of different concepts of blood relation. Probably before we go to the material, we better have some more clarity about blood relations. Let me give you one question. Just on this particular data, you please try to answer as many questions as possible. If you are getting it right, I can conclude that we are going in the right direction. Ready, students? Shall I start? Please write down this question. Write down this question, and after that I will be giving you some right. Students, please write down. A and B are a couple. A and B are a couple. Ready, students? C is brother of B. C is brother of B. Okay? Come on, student. D and E are sons of D and E are sons of A, and F is daughter of C, and got married to G. Come on, student. Then H is father of A and J is father of B. You please note down this information, my dear students. What I do, I will give you some questions basing on this information. If you are getting it right, then I can conclude that you are so good at the basics of blood relation, and after that we can go to the material. Okay, students, please come. So, here are the questions. Question number 1. What is C to A? What is C to A? Okay, students. Now, question number 2. What is D to F? What is D to F? Right, students? Question number 3. How? Okay, C related to E. Okay. Now, question number 4. How D related to G. Okay. Now, question number 5. Who is grandfather of F? Come on, students, you please try to answer this question. I will give some time to you, and if you could able to do it with command, then I will go to the next one. Please continue. Come on, student, go ahead, students. You please mention the question number. Then give your answer. If you don't mention the question number, how would I know? So, which question you are answering? Please go ahead. Good response, my dear students. I appreciate your response. Well done. Go ahead, man. Good, 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 good. Well done. Yeah. Brother-in-law, cousin. Come on, go ahead. Somebody says, yeah, you are responding very well, very well. Yeah, students. Good. I appreciate your commitment, students. You did so well. And let me clarify. Yeah. Please come to this point. Okay, students. Now just look at the question. First of all, A and B are a couple. A and B are a couple. It is only given that they are a couple. So between A and B, we don't know the gender of A as well as B. I hope you understand this. We don't know any of the genders of A, B, no problem. There is no confusion. C is brother of B. Come on, student. First thing you must understand that when C is brother of B, C will be brother-in-law to A. What do you think? Take my case, my dear students. I am brother of X. Let me suppose I am brother of X. Then I will be brother-in-law to X spouse. What do you think? Because you need not know the genders of X and Y. But when I am brother of X, I will be brother-in-law to Y. I hope you understand. When C is brother of B, C will be brother-in-law to A. So do you think the answer is can't say? No. You need not say can't say, because C's gender is already known to you. Therefore, what you said is right, my dear students. Your answer is brother-in-law. So brother-in-law. So to that extent, you are very clear. Next one. D and E are sons of A. D and E are sons of A. Good. Then F is daughter of C and she got married to G. Good habit is keep the couple in bracket. I hope there is no confusion. Keep the couple in bracket. It is a good habit. Good response, my dear students. Good response. I appreciate you. Very good. That's a very good thing. That's very interactive. I need that particular interaction. Please stop posting, because I already got all your answers. Please stop posting. Do not post anything unless I say so, my dear students. What happens now, I will be missing some of the important messages from your side. Now please stop. Already done, therefore please stop. Well done. Please keep in mind. Come on, student. F and G happens to be a couple. Therefore, it is a good habit to keep them in bracket. That's a good idea. Next one. What is D to F? What you said is right. Yes, many of you said cousin. Very good. It is enough to say cousin. No need to say cousin brother. Cousin is enough. We can use for both male as well as female. Now students, how is C related to E? C related to E. C. Come on. Uncle. Very good. C related to E, that is uncle. We can only say uncle. We cannot say maternal or paternal. Uncle for sure. But still, whether it is maternal uncle or paternal uncle, we are not so clear. You know why? Because we don't know the genders of AB. Whether it is from father side, mother side, we don't know. But uncle is fine. Therefore, students, many of you mentioned those three perfectly correct. Well done, students. I appreciate you. Yeah. Well done. Come on, student. Right. It is not maternal, my dear students. Somebody says maternal. How can you say maternal or paternal? Because we don't know the gender of B, no? Therefore, better you say uncle. Now, question number 5. 4 we discuss later. Question number 5. Who is grandfather of F? What is given? H is father of A and J is father of B. B father means B and C's father. Therefore, F grandfather is obviously J. That is very clear. F grandfather is obviously J. Come on student, how D is related to G? How D is related to G? That was the question. So let me check it out. What answer you put? Question number 4, what answer you put? Let me check it out. How can we say A is male, sir? No, I didn't say A is male, man. Where I say A is male? I did not know the gender of A. I did not mention A is male. Okay, student. Now please look at that. Question number 4, I believe that you make some mistakes. To clarify that, I require to discuss this question again. Now please look at that. Let me come to this question again. Tell me student, what information I gave you, the first information was A and B are a couple and C is brother of B, and then I mentioned that D and E are sons of A, of course AB sons, and F is the daughter of C, she got married to G. So that was the information I gave you. H is father of A and J is father of B. B's father means father of B and C, that is for sure. My question to you, how D is related to G? How D is related to G? Come student. Number 1, somebody says how D is related to G. Somebody says, not somebody, many of you say brother-in-law. For your information, my dear students, this is wrong answer. Why you know? Why? Come on, why? If I am brother to X, I will be brother-in-law to X spouse. Do you understand that? Come on student, let me give you an example. Ganesh, G stands for Ganesh. Ganesh is brother to X. Therefore, obviously to spouse of Y, I will be brother-in-law. What do you think? G means Ganesh. Ganesh. When Ganesh is brother to X and I will be brother-in-law to Y. Student, any of your single child, you are only son or only daughter in your family. If you happen to be only son, you will never be son-in-law. You will never be brother-in-law from your sister side because you don't have sister. So when you are brother to somebody, you will be brother-in-law to their spouse. What do you think? Unfortunately, D is not brother of F. When D is not brother of F, there is no point that D is brother-in-law to Y. That is ruled out. Number 2, somebody said cousins. Again, my point is cousin is wrong answer. You know why? Because D and G are not blood related. They don't have any blood relation. What do you think? G comes into the family only after marriage. My dear students, after marriage, if you go to any other family, then your relations will be in-law only. You cannot be cousin to them because you went to the family only after marriage. So cousin is a blood relation. Therefore, here D and G are no way related. Therefore, cousin is ruled out. My dear students, brother-in-law is ruled out and cousin is equally wrong. Then how D is related to G? If that is the question, then how we can say that? How D is related to G? So question number 4, your answer is this. For question number 4, your answer should be this. You know why? D is cousin of G's wife. That's it. If at all, if I have to introduce D, I must say that D is cousin to whom? G's wife. Brother-in-law is ruled out because they don't have any blood relation. I mean, brother, because D is not brother of, when D is not brother of F, obviously he cannot be brother-in-law. Cousin is ruled out. You understand, my dear students? Students, do you understand this point? You please mention yes or no. Do you understand my point? You please mention yes or no. Why I did not say because D is not brother-in-law? You understand what is the point of saying not brother-in-law? Okay? Okay, fine. Please don't comment. It is understandable. Come on, student. So, this is one important point in blood relations. Let me come to the point again. Maybe this time you get more clarity. What I said, my dear students, A and B are a couple. What actually I said is A and B are a couple. C is brother of B, and D and E are sons of A. F is daughter of C, she got married to G, you put the couple in bracket. H is father of A and J is father of B. That is what information I gave you. So, students, so far we discussed 5 questions from this question, and if you find any difficulty, you please mention. If you find any difficulty, you please mention. What difficulty you had? Everything is fine now? Now, please stop commenting, my dear students. So, please keep your comment concise, because if you give the length of comment, I obviously I could not able to read. Okay? Come on, student, please stop commenting. Stop commenting. Don't comment. Don't write any comments. I will be giving you some more questions. So, basing on this, let me check it out how you are able to handle this question. Okay? Now, here are the questions. Question number 6. You have to answer this question almost instantly without wasting your time. Students, please comment, man. Please don't comment. Right. Ready? Please don't comment. Stop there. Every comment should be stopped right now. Now, open your comments and you have to mention right. My question number 6. How many male members are there in the family? How many male members are there in the family? Come on, comment. Come on, comment. How many male members are there in the family? Come on, student. Now comment. It is the time to comment. How many male members are there in the family? I need to know your answer. Right. Very good. Please comment when I ask you to do so. Please comment only when I ask you to do so. Well done. Just take it out. D 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there must be one male between A and B for sure. Therefore, your answer must be 7. Well done, students. Now, question number 7. Please stop commenting. Don't send any comments, my dear students, because I want to see that you must respond only when I ask you to do so. Stop comment. Okay? Now, here is the question number 7. Ready? Who is paternal grandfather of F? Comment. Who is paternal grandfather of F? Tell me, students. Who is paternal grandfather of F? Comment. Now comment. I need to know your comment. Who is paternal grandfather of F? Well done. Very good. So, for your information, paternal grandfather means grandfather from your father's side, not from mother side. Tell me, students, F father is C and C's father is J. Obviously, your answer is J. Well done, students. Well done. Question number 8. Question number 8. Who is paternal? Who is paternal grandfather? Who is paternal grandfather of D? Comment. Who is paternal grandfather of D? Comment. Quick. You have to comment quickly, my dear students, without wasting your time. Who is paternal grandfather of D? Comment. Yeah, please make it fast. Come on, man. What are you waiting for? Come on, quick. I need to know the comments. If you do not comment, I would not be able to understand whether you were able to get it or not. Paternal grandfather of D. Somebody are answering J. Somebody said J. Somebody said H. I did not get the right answer so far. Come on, students. What are you waiting for? What? Oh, come on, students. Somebody are saying J and somebody are saying H. What is the meaning of paternal grandfather? Father of your father. Paternal means from father side. Unfortunately, we don't know who is the father of D. It is only given that A and B happens to be parents for sure, but we don't know whether A is father or B is father. If somebody says that H is paternal grandfather, A should have been father. But we don't know who is father of D. It can be either A or B. For your information, question number 8, your answer must be can't say. Let me check it out. How many of you said can't say? How many of you said can't say? Yeah, somebody said can't say. Somebody says can't say. Yeah. Yeah, students. Yes. Yeah. H. Many of you said H, man. For many of you said H. Somebody said can't say. Yeah. You are confusing, man. If you have to confirm paternal grandfather, you must sure who is father of D, whether it is A or B. When you don't know who is father of D, how can you confirm paternal grandfather? Therefore, your answer must be can't say. I hope you understand. So, blood relations, this is all about blood relations, my dear students. So, I think you got the confidence of handling the question. Now, we start our material. Okay. Please do not make any comment, and every comment is, yeah, I get your comments for sure. Very good, students. Now, please stop sending your messages. Now, we go on to the material. Please be ready. Right. Now, we start the questions. Now, here is question number 1. Because you understand how to handle the question, probably now you must be confident in handling this question. Ready, students? Please start. Question number 1. A family consists of 8 members, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. B is the only son of A. B is the only son of A. B is the only son of A. Then, D has 2 children. D has 2 children and is the wife of B. D is wife of B and has 2 children. The siblings are of different genders. So, D's one child is male, another child is female. Okay, students? D has 2 children, different genders, and she is the wife of B. Then, G is the husband of F, who is the daughter of D. F is the daughter of D. F is the daughter of D. And G is the husband of F. Okay, students? Then B's son is married. He is the B's son. B's son is married and has a son H. Come on students, let me come to the point again. A family consists of 8 members, and here one point I just want to mention you. Who? What is the meaning of who? What is actually who reflects? What is the significance of who? Students, I just want to give you some example. So, when we use the word of you, Rahul is son of Sonia. Rahul is son of Sonia. This is one statement. Rahul Gandhi is son of Sonia Gandhi. And Sonia is mother of Priyanka Gandhi. Priyanka Vadra. Mother of Priyanka. Let me suppose that I have got 2 statements like this. One is Rahul is son of Sonia. Another one is Sonia is mother of Priyanka. So, actually when this kind of 2 statements are given, it is not good English, because again you are using Sonia. You end the sentence with Sonia, again you are using the word of Sonia. So, whenever the same noun is supposed to be used, what is your practice? In place of Sonia, we use who. That is what we call is reflexive pronouns. So, we call this combination of 2 statements. After combination of 2 statements, the single statements comes like this. Rahul is son of Sonia. Rahul is son of Sonia. Who means Sonia, who is mother of Priyanka. Who is mother of Priyanka. Therefore, whenever there is a word of who reflects the previous one, that is Sonia. If we have to use the same word again, we usually do this. I hope you understand, my dear students. So, this is why this question is so important. Ready? Come on student. Now, we come to the question again, we get more clarity. Look at that. Ready? One by one. B is the only son of A. B is the only son of A. B is the only son. B is only son. Therefore, B is male. Come on. D has 2 children and is wife of B. Wife of B. I think you understand this. B and D belong to they are couple. And the siblings, the 2 children are of 2 genders, means one is male and another female. D has 2 children, one children is male, another children is female. Okay, then come again. G is the husband of F. F, who is daughter of D. Who is daughter? F is daughter. And F got married to G. Okay, students? Then B's son is married. B's son, I don't know who is B's son. He got married and has a son H. I don't know who is B's son. That is not given to you. How is D related to H? D H. D H. How many generations? 3 generations. A first generation, second, third and fourth generation. D, how is D related to H? My dear students, D is female. Your answer is grandmother. How is D related to H? Your answer must be grandmother. I hope you understand, my dear students. I believe that there are no confusions. Students, please do not comment. If you comment just like that, I may not be able to read all your comments. So, in the process, we will be missing important comments from your side. Please don't do any comment unless I ask you to do so. Okay? If I have to see the class is interactive, you should be able to respond only when I ask you to do so. Then the purpose will be served. In this lockdown period, we are actually trying so hard to give you the best. It will be more productive when you contact, when you able to in contact with the teacher. So it should be interactive, that's very important. Okay. Come on student. So probably in one or two questions you will be able to understand. Come on student, look at question number 2. Here is the question. Question number 2, just look at that. A is the father of X, A is the father of X, then. B is the mother of Y, B is the mother of Y. You see, you might have seen that both the informations are taken aside. The sister of X and Z is Y. The sister of X and Z is Y. You see, the sister of X and Z is Y, which means all the three are siblings. And when all the three are siblings, these two people should be couple. I think you understand this. Now, which of the following statement is definitely false? Which of the following statement is definitely false? B is mother of Z. This is definitely true. X is the sister of Z. X is the sister of Z. Whether that is definitely false or definitely true, it can be definitely false, it can be definitely true. Because X gender is not clear. X may be sister or may be brother. We cannot definitely say anything. Just leave it. Next one. Y is the son of A. This is definitely false. Because Y being a female cannot be son of A. Hence, your answer is third option. This can be true. This can be true. B is wife of A is definitely true. So, third option definitely false. Because Y being a female cannot be son. Come on student, I hope you understand. Okay, come on. One more question, maybe this time you get more clarity. Question number 3, 3 to 4. Just look at that. So, these two questions are depending on this information, you please concentrate. Study the following information and answer the questions. J is the son of B. J is son of B. J is son of B. Come on student. U is the only sister of J. U is the sister of D. D should be male. D is married to C. C must be female because D is male. C is the only child of K. It is only given child. Therefore, the gender of K. G is the sister-in-law. Therefore, G must marry to J. There is no other way. And P is wife of K. P is wife of K. So far, this is the information. So, till now we don't know any gender of B because B gender is not actually clear to you. Now, here is the question. If B is married to V, if B is married to V, then how V related to C? Unfortunately, it is only given B is married to V. Because we don't know the gender of B, we equally don't know gender of V also. Hence, if we don't know the gender, your answer should be can't say. Therefore, question number 4, your answer is can't say. If you ask me, sir, why did you say can't say? I can answer your question by saying gender is not known. So, when gender is not known, we can't say. Students, please don't confuse. If any of you are not getting the question right, no problem. If we discuss some more questions, slowly you will be getting the perfection. Perfection is something that you cannot achieve in 1 or 2 days. It is a continuous process. Okay? Please understand that. Come on student, we discuss some more questions, you get more clarity now. Question number 5. Question number 5 and 6 depending on this particular information. Come on student, here we go. M is father of G. M is father of G. Then P is wife of G. P is wife. Because P is wife, G must be husband. Then M is married to C because M is male, C must be female. M is married to C. Come on. L is sibling of G. L is sibling. Sibling means either brother or sister. Sibling. Telugu we call tobuttuvulu. Sibling means brother or sister. Come on. L is sibling of G. S is father-in-law of L. S is father-in-law, which mean to say that, come on student, M is father of G. Come on. P is wife of G. P is wife, therefore G must be male. Come on. M is married to C, therefore C must be female. L is sibling of G, you understand my dear students? Then S is father-in-law of L. When you have father-in-law, L got married to somebody else, I don't know who is that person, and S happens to be father. You see, S is the father-in-law of L. L got married to somebody else and father of that person is S. K is the only child of S. K is the only child. So this person is no other than K. So still the problem is we don't know the genders of K and L. Did you understand? We have to get some information to confirm the gender. If we don't know the gender, keep the information straight. Now just look at that. How is G related to K? How is G related to K? Because G is brother of L, obviously G will be brother-in-law, and hence your answer must be brother-in-law. What do you think? Because G is brother of L, obviously brother-in-law to K. Come on man, comfortable? Did not get it? Maybe yes. I have to give you one more example to clarify your doubts. Right, look at that, I must give you one more example. My name is Ganesh. And I have one sibling X. My name is Ganesh and I am male. I got one sibling X. X got married to Y. Can you tell me how Ganesh is related to Y? Myself. How I am going to relate it to Y? Brother-in-law. When I am brother to X and I will be brother-in-law to Y. Do you require to confirm the genders of X and Y? No need. Because myself I am male. Therefore, you can confirm my gender. I think you understand this. Okay, student? Now, I think you are comfortable with this. Now, please continue. So, question number 6 is also related to this. So, we can discuss one more time. Maybe this time you get even more clarity. Here is the question. Question number 6. Shall we discuss once again, my dear students? Yeah, please come again. Maybe next one, if we discuss for one more time, we get the more clarity. Here is M is father of G. M is father of G. Come on, student. P is wife of G. Because P is given wife, G is male. You know why I am confirming the genders like this? M is married to C. M is male, therefore C is female. L is sibling. Means brother or sister. And L got married to K, that is what we come to know, and father of K is S. This we know from the previous information. Now look at that. If K is mother of R, obviously L must be father. Then how L is related to father? Students, I think we are very comfortable so far. Let me check your comments. Yeah. You are asking me to change the pen color and I change it. Sir, change the color of the pen. Yes, students, I did it. Any other comment from your side? Please comment when it is really important. Yeah. Students, fine. Very fine. So, we are going in the right direction. I hope that you are able to get blood relations right. No problem. We continue. Here is question number 7 to 8. All the given members belong to the same family. J is, come on student, J is brother of L, J is brother of L, J is brother of L. Then J is the only son of R. When you say J is the only son, L must be female. Then, come on student, we continue. J is the only, W is father-in-law of L, which means L got married to one person, I don't know who is that, and W is father-in-law of L. You see, my dear students, W is father-in-law of L. D is the maternal grandfather of P. D is the maternal grandfather. So, D must be having a daughter and the daughter's child is P. I just put aside because I don't know when to club this. I will be waiting for some time. You see, my dear students, D is the maternal grandfather of P. Means P must be having mother and D must be father of mother. P is a male. Okay, P is a male. Who is a male? P is a male. Q is the only son of W. Therefore, this person is no other than Q. W is grandfather of N. W is grandfather of N. Therefore, they must be N. C is the daughter of N. C is daughter of N. Come on student, this particular information where we can mix up, man? How to mix up this information? We don't know anything about P in this question, we discuss later. How is L related to C? How is L related to C? L second generation, C third generation. So your answer should have been grandmother, but that information is not given. What, man? Okay. We move on to question number 8. Now this time you get more clarity. Just look at that. Here is the information. Now please read the information properly. J is brother of L. J is brother of L. Come on. Then J is the only son of R. J is the only son of R. W is father-in-law of J is the only son. Therefore, L must be female. L got married to somebody. Obviously, L got married to somebody. W is father-in-law. Therefore, W is father-in-law of this person. Then, D is the maternal grandfather of P, who is a male. I have to take this information over here. You know why, my dear students? Because that information we cannot club over here. There is no such link so far. Then, Q is the only son of W. This person is no other than Q. W is grandfather of N. Therefore, W to grandfather, N should be child of these two. L is female. You know that. C is daughter of N. In question number 7, my dear students, how is L related to C? My answer was mother-in-law, grandmother, that was not there. Here it is. How is P related to N? How to club this information, man? How to club this information? How P related to N? There is no such link so far we are given. So better we can skip this information by saying can't say. but in fact can't say information is not actually there, then how to handle this kind of informations? Probably it is too early to discuss all this with you. You may require some more clarity before we come to the conclusion. Students, right at the moment, I just want to skip this question. We will be discussing this question again. Come to this point. Here is the question. A, B, C, D and E are members of the same family. My dear students, the question just I am going to teach you is given in CSAT. The question we are discussing right now is given in CSAT. CSAT means Civil Services Aptitude Test. Civil Services Aptitude Test. Aptitude Test. You know that if you want to become an IAS officer or IPS officer, you need to know aptitude. So aptitude is almost like an integral part of every competitive examination. But it takes some time to get the command in aptitude. You don't expect to get the command just in 1 or 2 days. It takes its time. To be good at aptitude, my dear students, you have to understand the basics of the topic properly. Once you are able to get it, it is not a very big issue. Okay, student? Now come on. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E are members of the same family. There are two fathers. Two fathers, don't confuse. Two fathers, don't confuse. There are two fathers means number of fathers are 2 and 2 sons, 2 wives, 3 males, 2 females. Oh my God. In 5 members all these we have. Okay. The teacher was the wife of a lawyer. Just look at that. The teacher was wife of a lawyer. The teacher was wife of a lawyer. Here it is. This is the teacher. Was wife of a lawyer. Who was son of a doctor. Come on student, tell me. Teacher. You understand? Profession is teacher. Gender is female. The teacher was wife of a lawyer. Teacher was wife of a lawyer. Lawyer is male. You understand, my dear students, what I am doing? Teacher is female. Lawyer is male. Lawyer, who is son of a doctor. Lawyer was the son of a doctor. I believe that I am absolutely clear to you. What man? Here we go. Teacher, wife female. Lawyer male. Lawyer son of a doctor. I don't know gender of a doctor right now. Probably you will come to know only after some time. Right students? Now we continue. Then E is not a male. E is not a male means E must be female. Neither also wife of a professional. Okay, fine. C is the youngest person in the family. C is the youngest person in the family. Probably C belongs to 3rd generation. How can you say youngest member in the family? How many persons we have? 5 persons in the family. There is one couple. There must be one couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C is the youngest member in the family. And D is the eldest member in the family. Probably D should have been husband of a doctor. D should be husband of a doctor. I tell you why. E is not male. Therefore, E is a female. B is a male. Therefore, only male is lawyer. And just look at that. E is female, neither also wife of a professional. Therefore, this is E. This is C. Let me come to the point one by one. Read the question, my dear students. There are 2 fathers. Come on. D is a father. B is a father. 2 fathers. Come on. 2 sons. B is a son. C should be son. Otherwise, we can't get 2 sons. Come on. 2 wives, E is a wife, C is a wife. Come on. 3 males, yes, D, B and C. 3 males, 2 females, E and C. Everything done. Now, the teacher was the wife of a lawyer, teacher was the wife of a lawyer, teacher is a female and lawyer is a male. Lawyer was the son of a doctor, yeah. E is not male in the sense E is female. Done. Neither also wife of a professional. See, E is not a wife of a professional. D is not a professional. Therefore, I did not take D here. C is the youngest member. Therefore, I took in the 3rd generation. D is the eldest. So, here is the D. Therefore, eldest. B is a male. C is female. E is female. How D related to E? How D related to E? Answer is husband. How D related to E? Your answer is husband. I hope you understand, my dear students. Students, what do you say? Are you able to get it, man? Are you able to get it? I think it is okay for you. Okay, students. I think red color is okay. I believe that you are getting it right. Okay. Now we discuss one more question. Maybe this time you get even more clarity. Look at question number 10. Basing on the 7. Who are the females in the group? Already we discussed. Okay. Same question. Tell me who are the females in the group? D was one male, B, C. Other than the remaining 2 people must be female. Therefore, your answer must be E and A. Those 2 are females. Who is the wife? Whose wife is a teacher? You remember whose wife is teacher? Lawyer's wife is a teacher. Maybe I think if we discuss one more question, you may be getting some more confidence. Students, please focus on this question. I hope that you will be getting if I could explain this question without any discussion, I hope that you will be able to handle. Look at that. There is 10 members A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H in the family. There are 3 generations of the family, okay. There is also 3 married couples in the family, okay. There is an equal number of male and female, okay. Everything is fine. 5 male and 5 female. Read one by one. A is the daughter-in-law of J. A is the daughter-in-law of J. Who is the daughter-in-law? A. Which means J must be having a son and the son got married to A. A is the daughter-in-law of J. Come on. B's brother, I have only one sister A. B's brother, I have only one sister A. A is only one sister, which means B and I must be male. B's brother, I have only one sister A. So, A is only female. Then, H and B are married couple. H and B are married couple. Come on, student. Here is J. J is having a son and the son got married to a lady called A. Here is B and B brother is I. You know that, just we discuss. Then B, H and B are married couple. H and B are married couple. There are 3 married couples, already we got 2 married couples. Let us see one by one. H is mother-in-law of C, which means H is mother-in-law of C. H is mother-in-law of C. Then G is the mother of B. G is the mother of B, means here we have G. G is the mother-in-law. G is the mother of, here is the question, my dear students. G is the mother of B. B's mother means A, B and I's mother. G is mother of B. D is the son-in-law of G. Therefore, this must be D. D is the son-in-law. Then C is the sister of E. C is the sister of E. C must be female. C is the sister of E. F is the only son of D. F is the only son of D. Here is F. F is the only son of D. Check it out, my dear students. How many couples? 1, 2, 3 couples. How many persons? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many males? 5 males. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth male is missing and 5 females. If B is the son-in-law of X, then how is X related to C? This is what actually given to you. Probably we better discuss this question for one more time. Maybe this time you get more clarity. Come on, student. Come one by one. Ready? One by one. A is the daughter-in-law of J. Right? Then, next one. B's brother, I have only one sister A. Which I mean to say that B and I are males. B and I are males. They have only one sister, that is A. You understand, man? Then A is the daughter-in-law of J, which means A got married to a person and their parent is J. I hope you understand this. Come on, student. Then H and B are married couples. H and B are married couples. H and B are married couples. Come on, student. H is mother-in-law of C. H is mother-in-law of C. What does that mean? Therefore, C married into the family. H is mother-in-law of C. I am not confirming the gender of C. I don't know about C. Then student, G is mother of B. G is mother of B. Mother means G is mother of not only B but also A and also I. Okay. D is the son-in-law of G. Son-in-law. Son-in-law means husband of daughter. G's daughter is A and hence D is son-in-law. Come on, man. Right. Then again, C is the sister of E. C is the sister of E. Come on, man. F is the only son of D. F is the only son of D. Come on, student. F is the only son of D. Here is F. I hope now you are absolutely clear. Now read the question one by one. There is 10 members A to I. Check it out, all A to I we got. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Yes, we got all the 10 members. Then there are 3 generations. 1, 2, 3 generations. Yes, we got them. Then again, there is also 3 married couples. There should be 3 married couples. 1, 2, 3 married couples. Of course, see, husband is not given. 3 married couples. There is an equal male and female. Check it out, 5 male and 5 female. How many males we could able to get? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many females? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so 1 male and 1 female is missing. Between J and E, there must be 1 male and 1 female. Now answer. If B is the son-in-law of X, if B is the son-in-law of X, If B has to be son-in-law of X must be parent of H. Then how is X related to C? How is X related to C? Can't say. The reason X gender is not given. Gender is not given. Therefore, when X gender is not given, obviously we cannot make any comment. Hence your answer is can't say. Okay, student? Probably another one day we require to get the perfection in blood relations. I understand that some of you are getting it right, but not all the people. There are definitely some kind of confusions are there because the topic is such. Probably another one day it is enough to get the perfection. But today we are going to appear a test on blood relations. Give your 100% students. Just give your 100%. Probably this today's test you may not be able to answer all the questions with confidence, but never mind, give your 100%. We discuss this paper tomorrow, and by tomorrow we will be getting full command on this topic for sure. Okay, students? So tomorrow we will continue the topic. Take a break for 5 minutes, students, and we come back and we discuss yesterday's paper. Okay? Thank you. Students, now we come to the yesterday's question paper, because look at the question. I don't want to waste your time. I just want to make it some important points. The sale price of an article including the sales tax is 616. 616 includes a sales tax of 10%. Therefore, which I mean to say that 616 is equal to 110%, because that includes a sales tax of 10%. Therefore, without the sales tax, the book price should have been, without that, the sales tax should have been, come on student, how much it is going to be? That is 560, because 56 times. What is 560? That is the price excluding sales tax. But by selling 560, you are getting a profit of 12%. So when 560 is equal to 112%, what is the cost price? Note down this question, my dear students. So when we repeatedly discussing this question, slowly you will be getting the confidence. Probably in the first time you may be a little, you might have faced a little difficulty, but we go ahead, you will get everything. Please note down student, explanation wise, I don't have too much of time to explain all the questions. I try my level best to give you maximum questions. Okay? Come on student. Question number 2. I think you can do this, my dear students. A single discount equivalent to a discount series of 20% and 5%. Because the discount is offered on market price, let the market price be 100. What is the first discount? 20%. Discount 20%. 20% of 100 is 20, that comes around 80. And again 5%. 5% of 80 is 4. It comes to 76. I hope you understand, my dear students, how I am getting 5%. 5% of 80 is 4. Therefore, 100 rupee becomes 76. Therefore, that is equal to a single discount of 24%. I think I need not explain this question again. Now, this time you got some confidence. So, again similar question, my dear students, you can do this. Two items A and B are sold at a profit of 10% and 15% respectively. If the amount of profit received is the same, then the cost price of A and may be. Come on student, what do you understand from this? What do you understand from this? Two articles were sold at a profit of 10% and 15%. The amount of profit received is the same. Let the two items be A and B. Ready? So 10% of this item is equal to 15% of another item. Do you understand that? 10% of first item is equal to 15% of another item. Tell me percentages are in the ratio 2:3. Hence, items should be in the ratio 3:2. 3000, 2000. You are only asked to find prices maybe in the sense chance 3000, 2000, you got the chance. It is one of the chance. Okay. Come on, student. Similar one, similar as the previous one. There are right. Come on, look at this question number 6. Look at this question number 6. What will be a percentage profit after selling an article at a certain price if there is a loss of 30% when article is sold at 1/3 of the previous selling price? Students, let the original price be 300. You understand why did I take 300? Because I need to confirm 1/3. Okay, ready? When it is actually sold for 100, you get 70%. You know why 70%? There was a loss of 30% when it is sold 1/3 of the previous price. What is 1/3 of the previous price? 300 by 300. When you sold for 100, you got 70%. But for 300, check it out how much you get. 300 into 70 by 100. You get 210%. Is 210% is all profit? No, your profit is 110%. 210% is the total amount recovered. That includes cost price of 100%. Therefore, the remaining 110% is your profit. Okay? Come on, student. Yeah, students, you can do this, man. You can do this. Can you do this, my dear students? What would be the price of a watch purchased for 380 so that after giving 5% discount, there is a profit of 25%. Come on, student. First of all, to answer this question, what is the purchasing price? 380. What is this? This is the cost price. Tell me how much profit you are looking for. You are looking for a profit of 25%. Tell me how much is 25%? 25% of 380 is 95. Come on, student, what is this? 475. What is 475? That is the price you are expecting. You bought it for 380, you want to get a profit of 25%. 25% of 380 is 95, you want to get 475. Okay, you say the same price to customer. No, customer is asking for discount. If customer is asking for discount, you better say some X. If you say X, he obviously gets a discount of 5%. The remaining amount he gives to you. 95 cancels for 5 times. Therefore, X is equal to 500. Therefore, the market price must be 500. Student, please do not post any comments because I have hundreds of comments I could not read. In fact, I don't find time to read. I have got screen is so limited, therefore I could not read. Tomorrow I will be giving you some solution for that. I make sure that the topic is able to reach to you. I give my 100%. But still, if you have any doubts, we discuss for that. We get some solution for that. Okay? Please don't post any messages. I could not read. So, explanation I cannot come down. If we don't maintain this speed, it is difficult for me to complete all the questions. Come on, student. Sales, you understand what is the meaning of sales? So students, this what we call is revenue. Price decreases and sale increases. So sale depends on, you see, sale depends on number of articles sold and the price. More the price, more the sale. More the articles, more the sale. Isn't it? So sale depends on price as well as articles. What do you think? So my dear students, here we go. Sale, as I told you just now, sale depends on price of the article and then number of articles sold. If you are able to sell more number of articles, your sale is huge. If you sell more price, your sale is huge. So sale depends on these two. Let the original sale be 100. Tell me what are the changes you made. Price reduces by 40%. How did you get 60%, my dear students? Because you reduce the price by 40%. Then the number of articles increases by 80%. The number of articles increases by 80%. Tell me what happened with the sale now? 6 into 18, that becomes 108. It was initially 100, it becomes 108. Sale increases by 8%. Common sense? You will slowly get the comments. Not immediately, but slowly. Yeah? Never mind students, maybe after some time you will definitely get the comment. Probably I need not explain you this question, yes, you got it right. Students, in question number 10, this trader is getting benefit in two ways. One is 20% more is definitely taking from the customer. He never satisfied with that. But also he is giving 900 grams in place of a kg. Therefore, let me suppose that if I am the if I am the shopkeeper, see how I am actually managing, how I am managing, I bought 1000 grams in wholesale market for 100 rupees. So my cost price is 100. Point number 1. I am selling this item 20% more, that is 120, but I am giving them only 900 grams, which means 90 rupees worth of tea. You see, I am giving them only 900 grams per kg. I am giving them 900 grams per kg. 900 grams means 90 rupees. So 90 rupees worth of goods is sold for 120. Therefore, profit is 30. So what is the profit percent? Profit by CP into 100. And hence your answer must be 33 1/3%. I hope you understand, my dear students. Okay. So far we could able to complete question number 10, up to question number 10. So I will be discussing only those questions where you find a little difficulty. Otherwise, there is no other issue. Come on, student, you can do it, man. You can do this. Students, so do you remember successive discounts of 8%, 8% and a single discount? Let us check it out how the difference comes. Case number 1. First, you reduce 8% from 2000. 8% of 2000 is 160. Now we stand for 1840. Again you reduce 8% from 1840. Percentage calculation is very, very important, my dear students. You will get the perfection if you are very good at percentage calculation. Second one, you reduce 16% straight away. How much is 16% of 2000? Come on, man. Come on, 320. If you reduce 16% straight away, you will be selling the item for 1680. But if you reduce 8% and 8%, let us check it out how much it cost. How much is 8% of 1840? You want to check. How much is 10%? 184. And reduce 2%. 2% means 36 rupee 80 paise. Come on man, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 147 rupee 20 pies. 147 rupee 20 pies. Therefore 80 pies, 2 rupees, 9, 6 and this. Therefore tell me, if you give 16% straight away, you will be getting for 1680, but 8% you have to pay 1692 rupee 80 pies. Therefore, the difference between these two prices is 12 rupee 80 pies. Students, these are the routine calculations. If your father being a businessman, he does this calculation quite routine. We think it is mathematics, but your father never thinks it is mathematics, it is his routine. You have to inculcate the habit. Okay. So there is not a very big issue, you can easily do this. You can do this, my dear students. Yeah. You can do this, that's not a very big issue. Come on student, previous question, did you get any confusion man? No. Okay. Question number 14, just look at that. If the cost price of an article is 100, let the cost price be 100. The market price of an article is 10% higher than the cost price. Therefore, 10% higher than the cost price. That means market price is 110 rupees. This is the market price. Then what happened, you gave a discount of 10%. 10% of 110 is 11. Therefore, so you made a mistake, my dear student. If you do so, you don't even get your money back, but you lose 1%. There is a loss of 1%. If you happen to do business, you need to know these calculations. I think you understand, my dear students. Okay? Come on. Next one. Yeah, students, you can do this. Yeah. You can do this question, my dear students, not a very big issue because, similar, just similar. Student, do you remember this? Profit of selling some price is equal to profit of losing. So, this kind of questions, what is the formula? 1574 plus 1492 by 2. Whenever this kind of questions are given, what is the simple technique? You have to add both the prices, divide by 2. I think you understand this. Huh? You remember? Not an issue at all. Question number 19, my dear students, you can get it. Cost price is 5 rupees, selling price is 4 rupees. Do you understand how to answer this question? Cost and selling prices, they are in the ratio 5:4. More cost price, less selling price, there is a loss. Cost price and selling price. Therefore, loss is given by 1. Loss percent, loss by CP into 100. Please make the correction, my dear students, it should be 20%. Loss percent is 20%. Please make the correction, it should be 20%. Cost and selling prices are in the ratio 5:4. More cost, selling price is less. So, obviously, you incur loss. The loss percent is 20%. Loss by CP into 100, 20%. Come on student, question number 20 is not a very big issue, my dear students. You can easily get this one. The ratio of the cost price to market price is 5:3. Come on student. The ratio of the cost price and market price is 3:5. This is 3 and this is 5. And the ratio of the percentage profit to the percentage discount is 5:3. Percentage profit and percentage discount is 5:3. What is the discount percentage? There are two different ways of handling this question. One way is you can check it out, or second way, you can get some conclusions, but it's a difficult because you are still learning. Students, as I told you that aptitude never ends. More you learn, there is more chance of learning more questions. But only thing is, when the question becomes a little difficult, you need to be even more careful. You need to be very careful, my dear students. If you have to answer this kind of question, better you take market price as 500 and cost price as 300. There is no mistake you can take. I hope you understand what I told you. Profit percent is 5x percent and discount percent is 3x percent, that can be taken. I hope you understand, my dear students. Did you understand what I told you? Students, discount percent should be taken off from market price. 500 minus 3x percent of 500. If you reduce that, you will be getting the selling price. So, profit percent should be added to cost price. Profit percent should be added to cost price. Discount should be taken away from market price. Profit should be added to cost price. If you remove the discount, you will be getting the selling price. But I understand it is not that easy for you. I definitely conclude that this kind of questions you don't understand in the very first batch. Slowly, more you answer, you will be getting more command. Okay? Never mind, students. You better answer this question after some time. There is no such hurry. Students, I think not very big issue. You can easily handle this kind of questions. Tell me. Rohit bought a paper sheet for 7,200. Cost price is 7,200 and spent 200 on transportation. And paying 600. What is 600, man? I think another 600 is also paid. Therefore, how much is spent? He spent around 8,000 rupees altogether. He had 330 boxes made. He could able to make 330 boxes, which he sold for 28 rupees each. I think you understand. This is the total cost price. 720, 7,200 plus 200 plus another 600. So, total 8,000, and this is going to be the total selling price. 28 into 33. 28 into 33 means 84, 84. So, that comes around 9240. 9240. This is the total selling price. Hence, the profit is given by selling price minus cost price. So, that comes around 1280. So, profit percent is equal to profit by CP into 100. You will be getting your answer. I do understand, my dear students, in the initial stage, maybe this kind of questions seem to be a little complicated, but slowly you understand, slowly you will be tuned to this kind of questions. Okay? Never mind, we discuss some more questions, you get more clarity. Yes, students. Oh, yeah. So, this kind of question maybe you find a little difficulty because you are not having a habit of doing this kind of questions. Sarita purchases some clips at the rate of 7 for a rupee and equal number of clips at the rate of 5 for a rupee, and sold them 4 for a rupee. All that sold for 4 for a rupee. 754. What is the LCM of 754? LCM of 754 is 140. Ready? Now come on, student. At the rate of 7 for a rupee, to get 140 you need to spend 20 rupees. At the rate of 7 for a rupee. 7 for a rupee, 140 for 20 rupees. Then at the rate of 5 for a rupee, at the rate of 5 for a rupee, at the rate of 5 for a rupee, to get 140 you require 28 rupees. Check it out, my dear students. From the first case you get 7 for a rupee, 140 for 20 rupees. 5 for a rupee, 140 for 28. Tell me what is the total cost price? 48. And how many articles you bought? 280. Now you have to sell these articles. How you are selling? You are selling 4 for a rupee. You are selling 4 for a rupee. At the rate of 4 for a rupee, if you sell these 280, how much you will be getting, my dear students? 4 for a rupee. Check it out. 4 for a rupee, 280 for 70. Therefore, cost price is 48 and selling price is 70. Hence, the profit is given by 22 by 48 into 100. I hope you understand, my dear students. What do you think? Did not you get this? How did you get that 140, man? How did you get that 140? Check it out. How did you get that 140? Check it out, my dear students. Point number 1. Point number 1. How did you get that 140? 140 is LCM of 754. LCM of 754 is 140. Because you have to get the answer in percentage, so that is not an issue. Tell me 7 for a rupee, 7 for a rupee. You are purchasing 7 for a rupee. That means 140 you will be purchasing for 20 rupees. 7 for a rupee. 140 you will be purchasing for 20 rupees. Then again 5 for a rupee, 5 for a rupee. At the rate of 5 for a rupee, to purchase 140 you require 28 rupees. That is 48 rupees. This is the total cost price. 140, 140, 280. Now you have to sell. How you are selling? 4 for a rupee. 4 for a rupee. Therefore, 280 for 70 rupees. I can understand, students, sometimes you are not getting it right. If there is any key correction, we will tell you, no problem. There are some few key corrections we will be telling you when there is a discussion. I believe that even we discuss more number of questions, again we will be having same confusion. Aptitude is such that even though we discuss any number of questions, there is no end. The best solution is we need to discuss these questions again and again. Okay, students? So, okay, students, now the time is up. Never mind, we will come to these questions again, then we will be discussing this once again, no problem, we get even more clarity. Okay. Now, today you are going to take a blood elation test. You may not be able to answer all the questions, but never mind, give your serious try. Okay. Thank you, students. Take care.